Guys, we're sorry about that. Mm, okay, let me just call Lucky. Uh, Yamgela, can you please, Yamela, please, I saw a comment lapha wena ngiyacela, can you please copy from that side and paste it this side ukuze ngizokwazi ukuyifundela uLucky. Because I was just waiting for, okay, I was just waiting for like ukuthi aqede. I was can help you. My brother,
So-
I'm very
Sorry again.
sorry.
It's
Even
that
even I can't take, yeah, technical issue.
yeah. No, it's fine. I was
Can,
just wrapping up the issue of hormone, which
yeah,
we are able to actually modify the hormone and make amaphilisi specifically to those enzymes as a transporter to a hormone of pleasure. You will notice abanye
yeah,
ukuthi if you eat a strong dark chocolate which is rich in serotonin, their mood will be
mm,
elevated, they'll be happy. So same thing that applies with the medication. There's nothing wrong with the medication. They won't
mm,
make you sleep. You know, they just balance up your mood so you'll be able to reason and cope with your daily activities. One may ask Uguti, does it mean if I'm on depression now, I'm on depression pills, now I have to take them for the remainder of life? It also
yeah,
differs with the type of depression you've been diagnosed with. If it's a recurrent, you are most likely to take your happy pills closer to the period where you usually feel depressed. And if it's a
yeah.
chronic one, and I'm afraid Uguti, for you to cope with daily activities, you may have to be compelled to take the medication for the remainder of life.
Mm. Wow. I heard you comment there, man, on the other life, locally. I'm just waiting for her to. I'll copy from the other life and paste it with so what
Okay,
the one. I told you see the part.
okay,
Corner office la office. I'm constantly in and out of depression. I also suffer a great deal of anxiety. I get triggered by my thoughts mostly. I can wake up okay and less than an hour later find myself staring into a space or with tears flowing down my face. I feel like my life is stagnant. I do appreciate the good that are happening, but there is a lot that's going on my way. The constant rejection, they hurt so much to a point of hurting anymore, of not hurting anymore. Today I'm hurting again. It's a cycle. My anxiety shoots up to a point where I have to rock myself back and forth just to find balance and calm my thoughts. Master to the last paragraph. I do have highs. They are so good, and in those moments, I feel like myself. But when I'm all by myself, it all comes crashing down. I am in a constant cycle every single day. I'm living with both depression and anxiety. Some days are better, some are worse. Every single day is a fight for me to breathe and live and be positive.
yeah, it's quite a sad thing. So now, from those common ones that I mentioned, the most common category of depression, based on that
Yeah,
statement, this one we can really categorize. We see this person now falls on a recurrent depressive disorder because some days are actually good. She feels alive,
yeah,
she's living, but some days they're bad. Now, what's
yeah,
that person need to take note as well as the environment. Take
yeah,
note of the environment. When am I actually feeling this? Am I saying some days are good because I have a good company, or some
oh
days are
yeah,
bad because I'm alone and I'm dealing with this demon alone, and I feel like
mm,
it's actually a huge battle because you still find those people who are depressed. Like I said, they pretend to be so happy, and you'll never see it because they're trying to make you happy, so you will not really see inkinga ababhekene nazo. So you'll find one person ukuthi engathi ngahlale ku Christmas every day to them, you know, because they're dealing with so much. So usisi lo commentile lapho depression like we can safely categorize it ukuthi it's a recurrent depressive disorder that is associated with the anxiety because there's some panic attack. She mentioned rejection as well. Rejection just with everyone else, it will really lower your self-esteem as well because you'll always feel incomplete, incompetent, and not worth it at all, you know. So again, it will go back with the introspection again to say the rejection, does it really mean you are not worth anything in your life? You know, I think that's when it needs to come with my activities that can be spiritually uplifting and also confidence boosting.
Wow. I think lokhuza uyamela i-comment yakhe but we will carry on ukuthi uya-test then we will take it from there. My friend, sesikhulume kakhulu about this hearing from iy'tori zabantu their experience with depression. Iziphi izinto mhlawumbe thina esingasiza ngazo abantu because it seems like we are very clueless about these things, yabo. Because I can listen to someone when he speaks, like and maybe he or she wants help. But the thing is, I can't control people. So we are very, very clueless about these things. We are very, very clueless in dealing with people about anxiety and depression. Maybe if we come across people about depression and anxiety disorder, how can we help these people?
Okay, I think before you even get there, so identify the person, you know, because you'll end up doing referrals to someone really doesn't need help. Now, we are so disconnected. That's one thing that you need to acknowledge. We are so disconnected. One can be because it's Makaya straight away, it's difficult to make friends at an older age. One doesn't want to make friends anymore because most of the previous friends they've let that person down through betrayals, through negative talking. There's so many factors that we can list up here. The list will be endless. One can say, my friends are actually doing good in life and I can't really put them close to me because it's like I'm a failure if I'm being compared to them. So but manje they driving AMGs and I'm using public taxis and I don't know where I'm going. So number one, I think it's always important are people who have taken a good introspection and self-awareness. They've accepted what they have anxiety and depression. The good people that I can talk to right now is them to say, you know what, you need to trust in yourself and have one person that you talk to. Let's say the problem is Ekai, you can't talk to mama no moba bekai. Talk to your spiritual father is on twin. Talk to your spiritual mother is on twin. You know, talk to someone you don't know. Make new friends. We have social platforms where you can just invite someone who's in Joburg, and then if that person is friendly enough and be able to talk and just cough out, say as much, you could you know, of which, well, it's not really nice to wash your dirty jeans in public, but have someone that you talk to if you don't have a friend, your family line, your cousin, someone that you trust. Me saying all these things to you, I'm not sending you to go tell the people who abuse me. I am telling you so I can cough it out. You know, Konindektua is a Northwest ranging where you have a TV, none window, twangena say whatever you want to say while we pieces sama TV, bushai, glass. Maybe at some point we need to look at that and introducing that in KZN as well, because there's quite a lot of people who are suffering out there and they have no one to talk to. We always recommend to go to seek for a psychotherapist talk where they'll first clinically diagnose you and check what's the problem. They'll give you medication suitable for you, and then you'll be able to cope with your daily lives. We have toll-free lines now as well, which I will send them to you so you can post on your channel towards the end of your channel, where you can simply send a please call back, and then they will call you. And on those lines, there are people who are doing their final years in terms of clinical psychology. They're able to guide and counsel you. There's qualified people if they can't, and then they can refer you. We have what do you call it, support group. There's a lady by the name of Utani who's sharing her story, her journey, which is very encouraging story for other people to actually open up and talk as well. Go there. People, they don't know you. When you start meeting other people who suffer different condition, it makes it easy for you to talk. We once had such a very productive exercise that we had in Manzimtoti with the team, where everyone was just coughing out. Like, everyone was so spiritually lifted. I think Owahamba from that gathering felt so light. Uguti, actually, I'm not the only one who's suffering. So back to your question, it becomes so difficult to help someone or who doesn't want to admit in Kingaya. But as a person who's on the other side, you can pay attention to the signs and symptoms I've mentioned. Keeper from enjoy before. So like, because you are fully aware of the information we just shared today, you can start calling that person more often. Be close, call them, show them that they are worth it. Call them, hey, I'm just checking up on you, are you good? Of course, the first 3 days, because it's something that you've been a rapport that you did not develop initially. Will just be happy because, okay, there is someone and so forth. And on day 4, day 5, day 6, the person will start opening up. The most common cases is you first need to share your journey, because now we're living in a cruel world where I cannot just share the information while I don't know you. Maybe if I want you to share, I'll first share my experience and my past. What's actually, this is how I grew up. Along the line, probably you will stop me and then interject and say, well, to me it wasn't like that. You start developing that rapport. Now let's talk. Eventually you'll get through to the problem. Now be careful of umuntu futhi uthanda ukuyivalela, uthanda ukuba sekhaya as well. If every third day I see you by a rank, every third day I see you online, as much as I don't chat to you, I see you posting, that's enough. If it goes a week, I no longer see you, you're a lot of posts with small digits there, I need to check up on you. Hey, are you good? Let me call you. Let's make it within us. Let's be that generation that really cares about each other. Like, call them. Kona, which is not confirmed, a research that is done also in China, which is not really yet confirmed, Uguti. If you are thinking about someone, that person is thinking about you too. So I don't know how true is that. I'm still waiting for mass scientists to really do a paper review and challenge that, Uguti. So if I'm thinking about someone in the family right now, it's either they're in trouble or they're thinking about me. Why can't I just grab a call and call? I think abantu are cool if someone is saying, actually I was thinking about this person, why didn't I call?
I think on what you just said is very true. I think it's very true, because it's always happening with you just out of the blue, just think of someone, and because of being careless, and then it's 2 years, it's either content, it's either you think of that person or you dream of those people. So it's something that is happening. Noma umuntu umcabangi uthi uyafonela uthi uyabavocha athi ngicabanga yabo mase yabuza ukuthobuka ngifonela ingane ngoba nami ngicabanga. I think it's true. It's always happening.
Yeah. I think also there's a lot of things. I think one way that we can really recommend, Uguti, have what we call self-development. From the character that you have, try and build up a strong character. There are out there who will give you the very last cent that they have in order to give you to do what you need to do, because they'll feel good about it. We have right now we're communicating it through a cell phone. we have people who would like to get a call from the other end, especially if they've tried to make means to call and that call was missed. Let me say, brother, I call you and you missed my call, but it goes 5 days later, you don't return my call. You know, I already feel neglected in that way. Would actually, when you don't want to talk to me, you know. But if we start developing our characters, we could listen. I want to do this thing this way in such a way that next time when I'm feeling this way, I must also get that help back. But it's not guaranteed, of course. So if I miss the call, let me call back. Because some people actually they cry the loudest, especially if someone have committed suicide. Would say, actually, I saw a missed call. I wonder before maybe whatever I will have been able to stop it. You know, when you get a missed call, call back. You know, even if when you don't have means to call, send a please request back to say, listen, I don't have means. So if you do get airtime before I get it, please do call back. Let's look for I don't know how to put it in simpler terms. Let's be kind to one another because people are going through so much out there. Even worse with the pandemic, and it's bad. We just need to be kind. I think the next meeting with Utine, I think it will be in April. There's an activity that you will play that if you really, really know me, you will know that, and then you'll continue with the line. And, you know, you just need to be kind with one another, just to cut it in short, brother.
Yeah. Short. Uyamela finally sent this. Hi, guys. Your advice here. I have a friend. She is a very good, or she has a good career or job in medical field. However, she is highly stressed right now due to the responsibilities of taking care of her whole family, paying for sibling school fees, building a home, etc. She really wants to help make life better for her family. She feels therapy is not an option because it doesn't relate to it. Please advise. Yes, Yamela.
Okay. I think Uyamela is speaking of someone who is really chained down into triple text and Unewama responsibility. I think would say what field is it? Medical field.
Medical field, yes.
Just to share with someone who doesn't know, medical field is so demanding. Long working hours, connecting with patients who come with different conditions and having to see some lose their lives when you have tried your level best. It's exhausting on its own. Daughters are the most depressed people who commit suicide. I think Ranger corner, as much as I don't have the percentage on hand here, it's quite high. Now there's a black tax involved. Unfortunately, there's only two ways to help usis. The therapy le ethi ngezimsize iyona engamsiza the most because bangakhona break it down inkinga yakhe to say, you know what, now let's separate work, let's first deal with home. You know, one of the pressure that we have, especially if we are solo breadwinners in our families, is we're trying to get everything fast while we're enjoying our life because we're comparing ourselves with abantu esifunde nabo ukuthi awubani usethenga i-BM, ubani usethenga i-Mercedes, wena ekhaya kusamele wakhe kuqala, wena kusamele wenze ini. So you end up having that anxiety which will lead to depression as a failure when you're trying to do both and both of them doesn't work. So the best thing to do that I can advise the lady, the help that she's running away from, this will need a professional person who will just do a counseling and proper goal planning. Now ekhaya kunengane efundayo, ekhaya kumele ngibenzele i-grocery, ekhaya kumele ngi-extend umuzi, nami kumele ngiyinake. Phela sengiyasebenza manje. I deal with patients, I need to look appealing. Maybe she needs to start having priorities, have a list of priorities and say, you know what, first of all, the career that I have is the only thing that I have. If I mess up with my career, everyone will lose. So where's my priority? So let's start with the career. How do I deal with pressure and time management? Each and every hospital, private or public, we have what we call a wellness clinic. That clinic only deals with the staff-related issues. It can be due to i-pressure semsebenzini or i-pressure yenza outside from work. We are able to get the proper counseling and guidance. Maybe they will move that doctor from a busy department like i-casualty. Mhlambe bemfake ewadini for a number of periods while esas recover yena ukuthi kahle kahle ngimi kuphi. Now you mostly find ukuthi actually if that person is a newly qualified employee, we are most likely to be given the duties of the senior doctors as a junior doctor. Would say, hambe uyokwenza i-paperwork, hambe uyokwenza ukuthi, come back, enza ama-discharges, enza ama-admission. It becomes so much while ekhaya there is no happy place. Just to cut it short, seek for the help in wellness clinic. No one will judge you from there. From there, also have your own priorities straight to say, you know what, from my priorities, now I need to protect my career by all means, so I don't do any malpractice or medical negligence, which can cost me my career. Secondly, let's go back home. Why can't I at least maybe invest instead of buying groceries? Do everything, invest. Do I have an uncle?
Yeah.
Will I be able to help my uncle with the little cash I get from work? Means a code 10 license. Maybe he can go drive Uber cars or taxi cars and come and help home. Start do investment. Look at someone, Lucy as well. Look, it's okay. You going to school. What can we do? Can we open maybe an online shopping? Maybe via country. What can we do? Whatever you're doing, you'll be having a priority but investing home. That will really minimize the pressure on you, especially if you can dipege when a car. That's the most straining thing because there's a thin line between a so-called black tax and abuse. Once you start giving home, they'll never say we are enough now. Please look after yourself. There'll be today we need to change our matters. Next month we need to change into bend. Hey, we need to change finish a engine. Like you'll start having those demands before you even graduate. So now if you are not fit enough, now you know what, you're touching something very important. Now when I was preparing for this, we find what's in South Africa, number one age group that is on depression, 21% of the total population is 18, from the age of 18 to 29. Those are severely depressed age group individuals. And then from there, it then jumps. From age 45 to 64, it's 18%. Only the middle age, which is between 30 to 44, you find those ones who would see they are depressed. There is a link there where one can conclude 18 to 29, these are young individuals, like young adults. They recently maybe became independent. Now they need to do things on their own. Now, if you look at that age group, you're most likely to have obtained your first qualification. And from the age of 29 now, and again, from that age group, it's when you start saying, my life, where am I going? By this age, I need to have a serious relationship. That's where the depression comes in because we're having targets instead of just living life. So, in short, advice to Uyamela, please recommend your friend to actually go to wellness clinic. Wellness clinic, they'll give therapy. Therapy are not really to say we want to know because they'll want to categorize. Now it becomes really difficult because the person is working for health sector. So we'll say, manje ngiyocancela umuntu almost I have the same qualification or I know more than that person. Now our expertise are different. You'll find those about nursing, they specialize in nursing as much as they will know basic things of a condition. There are those ones who specialize in neurosurgeon. So if you go Google psychology, they'll be able to track down with your family and even tell you what's the issue. But just to answer in short, seek for therapy and also do your prioritization. And lastly, invest in your family.
Wow, Yamela, I hope you are taking notes and also your friend, this will come, your friend, no manje, just invite her or him and watch. Guys, I don't think it. We still have more stories, but ngizocela ukuthi ngithathe the last one. I will take from ama comments la. Uthi uphilile. I mean, Kabandla, I have decided to write everyone off empilweni yami for peace sake. Angisathembi umuntu nje bandla, people are disappointing.
Now uyambona ukuthi uba uphindile uphilile useshawe betrayal. Now ngaba i-betrayal through ukuthi into engikutshela zona zishiwe womunye, or kungaba i-betrayal ukuthi mina I helped you but when I'm in need you didn't show up, so you just disappointed me. That's normal. Human beings, they act in that way. So don't allow those type of situations change the person that you really are. Now, if you're a friendly person, just because people were not so friendly to you at a particular stage doesn't mean you need to be mean with everyone. Again, it will go back to the point of what who are you, Pili? Are you a person who like Utabula and so forth? Are you a person who really don't like to socialize with anyone? Is that the really Pili that you are? If that's really Pili that you're trying to create, it will have a problem because you'll have a lot of things that you're bulking up inside you, and then when you don't have anyone, you'll bust it off. In most situations, you'll bust it off in your relationship or even in your siblings. You shine such a way from a small issue in you're a person who opens up, or a person who socializes, you're a person who's friendly, but you have no one around you. So it can be because of a situation right now. You just don't want anyone, but do not close those doors. If someone is showing to be friendly to you, I'll advise you, don't shut them off. Entertain them, but be cautious, of course.
Wow. Thank you very much. Pili, I hope you are happy. Please, Pili, treat people as good as you are, not as bad as they are. That will help you in a very, very great way in life. So, unfortunately, we have reached the end of the live. But our Pili, let's start another session. Next week, we will be still on a very, very same topic with Urama. And the following week, I am planning to bring them both, Uputlaki and Norama, I'm sure with this, there are a lot of things that we can come up with. There are a lot of people who are going to be helped, guys, because Urama is one of the person who is coming from depression. So she will be sharing her story. Ukuthi waphuma kanjani, wangena kanjani, kwakwenzakalani, waphuma kanjani with depression, and then the following week ngizokhuluma nabo ukuthi ngikwazi ukuthi ngibahlanganise nokuthi like babuye sebebuthi. So my brother, from the beginning we've been talking about the word of knowledge, where we are identifying the problems, talking about the problems, but now bengifuna ukuthi sivale with the word of wisdom, where we come in with the solutions now, because we have identified the problem. Now we need to come with a solution. What word would you have for us as a closing concerning everything you just spoke about?
Okay, I think there's now echoes because I can hear you duplicating. But I just want to leave everyone with this quote. That there is, I don't know, I think there's two devices. There's an echo. You'll forgive me on that. There is. I just want to tell everyone who's out there who's suffering from a depression or anxiety that there is hope, even when your brain tells you that there isn't. So don't make today's decision tomorrow's problem. Now, what I can recommend to anyone who's out there would do an introspection and do a self-development. So when I say self-development, I'm talking about do something that will boost up your self-esteem. minimize your time on the phone, try and connect with nature. Leave your phone ekhaya, just take a walk with stolo, just to ask uthi airtime inayo yini, and then go walk back home. Those small activities, they'll help your brain to function as.
Mm, mm. Wow. Thank you very much, my brother. Angazi ukuthi ngenzakani, but I can hear you very clear on this side. Angazi, I'm trying to check now with ngingabe but from my side bengikuzwa kahle, everything was clear. I think it's technical issue. Sanjay,
Yes, sengiyakuzwa.
number one. First, thank you very much for your time. It was a privilege and honor to have you. You have shared a lot with us. Sizakele kakhulu. Ngezinto ekuthiwa ngiswele amazwi okukubonga, but I'm very, very speechless. I'm wordless because I feel like ukuthi ngiyabonga is not enough. I feel like there was another word greater than ukubonga. But the way you have helped us, we thank you for your time, for everything that you have done for us today, and we are hoping to have you on the other following live after next week. Thank you very much, my podcast.
Thank you so much for inviting me. We actually need more of the platform where we share the information. We need to be that generation that really uplift everyone. Let's go up together. If I'm a privilege to know a certain field and I've been a certain that field, I need to come back and share with everyone so everyone goes up. Let's be that generation that put a stop with it. It's enough. It's enough to seeing people dying from depression. What can we do?
Yeah.
Let's all go up together without really doing a comparison and so forth, without really having people committing suicide when they have loneliness. So we need this platform. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm looking forward to meet Rama on our next session where we even break down even more in details. Hopefully by then we'll have more better audience where we talk more with people sharing their stories and so forth. So thank you for inviting me. So today, just to recap, so whoever they will know, there's types of depression, and there's a difference between anxiety and depression. As much as you can have two, either anxiety or the depression. Depression is more of the lowering of the mood that are forever overwhelmingly down, compared to anxiety is more of the panic attack.
Thank you very much, my brother. Once again, it's a privilege and honor to have you on the show. Till we meet again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Guys, wow, what a show, guys. What a show. Thank you very much